Hello, my friends. How are you doing? So, I have been really busy lately and I haven't had enough time to film a video every day or like even every other day as I initially planned to. So, I decided to stick to 3 videos a week every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. So that I don't just like film some bullshit like nonsense. I want to, you know, try to make it like with better quality and stuff. So I hope that this will work. And today I wanted to talk about my experiences with friendships in my life as a person who had BPD and compare it to how it works for me now that I have recovered. So, well, first of all, as I said like already a million times, I had the form of quiet BPD, which kind of made it harder and easier at the same time. So specifically for me, I knew that like certain feelings that I felt were not correct. Like other people didn't feel the same way that I did. So I thought that I should probably like try to pretend to be normal and not show it. So a lot of times I would really like suffer from the inside because when you have BPD, every relationship hurts you. But well, I would never like show it because I didn't want to seem weird or anything like that. So as I already said before, there is 9 criteria that you have to fit 5 out of in order to be diagnosed with borderline personality disorder. And I found like 5 of them that actually influenced my friendships and like every relationship actually in my life. As you probably know, borderline personality disorder makes your relationships unstable and quite chaotic and, well, hurtful for both parties a lot of times. In my case, I think it was more hurtful for me rather than for like any of my friends, but I don't know, it's up for them to decide. So the first thing that I remember to be true for me in friendships was insecurity. So I always thought that I kind of didn't deserve for people to be friends with me, and at the same time I craved like attention from them, and I felt like if I don't get attention or like approval all the time, then I'm not validated as a person and I don't deserve to be there. So well, there was that, and I always thought that everybody knew better than me and that like everyone is like better qualified in everything, and just I would copy like other people and stuff. I mean, I already told about it a million times, but especially with friendships, because like romantic relationships not so much, you don't like really copy the other person, but in friendships you can kind of betray your own personality in order to fit in with your friends. And that led to me a lot of times having friends that were not really my friends or that didn't really care about me. Although I have to admit that I am really lucky, and throughout my life I had really, really amazing friends, and I still do. And some of the friendships are already like 10 years old or something like that. So the second thing is constant jealousy and neediness. So I remember, especially as a teenager, I would be so jealous if I found out that my best friend would go somewhere else with like some other girls or guys and she like didn't invite me, or even if I wasn't in town in that time, like I thought that she has to spend all her time with me and me only, and if we are not like spending our time together, then we should be on the phone, or at least she shouldn't spend time with other people. And I always felt that it was like a betrayal, and I could call like my best friend at that time crying and asking like if she like loved me or if she cared about me or not. And well, it only happened a couple of times because usually I try to, not seem as weird, but when it came to a point where I was like, oh my God, I cannot live without her. And I really felt that way. And when you are especially a teenager and when you are in school, there is always drama, and there is always, you fight with one friend and then you don't talk to them for like a year, and then like you find another group of friends and there is like all this gossip and stuff. And I took it so close to the heart, and I felt so betrayed every time like I lost a friend or something like that. Gosh, it was so hurtful. Like, I remember coming home from school and crying my eyes out like on my mom's lap because I was just so like influenced by all these friendships. And it continued until my, older years. Even in my 20s, I would have friends and I would feel hurt every time they kind of spent time with somebody else, or if they, told me about somebody that they like as a friend, and it didn't even mean that they don't like me. So it doesn't, if somebody likes you but likes another person and they spend time with you and with like other people, it doesn't mean that they like you less, and you don't have like a right to to have a monopoly on this person. So you can never own anybody. And I felt really kind of, I don't know, like I felt hurt every time when I realized that this person is not like going to be 100% of their time like with me, and sometimes they want to spend time with other people. Although I had multiple friends and I would spend time with multiple people, and I thought that they all should kind of like, or if like a friend who was in another country wouldn't like respond to my letter in a day or so, and I would like be really crying and like, oh, maybe like I did something wrong, and I was really insecure about every like relationship and friendship that I had. So I try to not show it, but sometimes I would do something that is really not healthy, but it helped me at that time. So I called it detoxifying from friendships. So if I felt really like attached to a person, and I got really easily attached like to a new friend or something, if I realized that that happened again, I would not talk to them for like a week or a month. Like, it depends on how like often you usually like see each other. And if you have to, like, for example, with a work friend, you see each other every day, but then I would just like say hi and walk past them and not talk to them, which is kind of rude because I didn't like say anything before doing this, like cold shower thing, but it was for me. And I kind of, proved to myself that, see, this is the model of how your life would be without another person, and you survived. So like, you don't need them that much really. And it kind of helped me to lessen the anxiety about like them not being there for me anymore or not being my friend anymore. And so number 3 is black and white thinking. So, well, first, when you meet a person, like, usually people like are neutral to other people. I would idealize every new person that I met. I would try to like incorporate some of their like behaviors or patterns, whatever, into my own behaviors and life. And I always felt like everybody like, is so great. And then when you have this like perfect image of a person in your head, it actually never is true, because there is no perfect people ever in life, and somebody will definitely at one time like piss you off, or they will do something wrong, and then the devaluation comes and you think like, oh my God, they are the worst. Like, how can I think that this person is so good when they're actually pure evil? And then you go straight from worshiping them to like hating them. 4, which I don't think is that often, and it didn't happen to me as much, but it still did. So it's stress-related paranoia, or just like regular paranoia. I don't know if it's anything regular, but so I had this like thoughts, like little thoughts, little voices in my head that would tell me that like, oh, this person doesn't really like you as a friend. They just want something from you. Or like they're just pretending to be your friend because they are conspiring against you, and then they will like wait until you are the most like open, and they will even hurt you like even more than they could if they weren't your friend or something like that. So I would have these thoughts about my parents that they are like conspiring against me and just only want to make me feel worse than I already do and stuff like that. And it happened more, actually, now that I think of it, it happened more than I even want to remember, because I would always like have this, even if it was not like in my conscious mind, somewhere, you know, like in the back of my head, I would always have this like little voices telling me that like, why would they be so nice to you, because you're like such shit. They probably just want something from you, or like they want to hurt you or whatever. And it didn't even, like, you know, if you think about it logically, that makes no sense, especially when you are like 20 years old. Like, people have better things to do than to, you know, like conspire against you, whatever. So this, yeah, this also like spoiled a lot of friendships for me. Although I never, because I realized that it's not normal, I would never like tell anyone or share these thoughts with my friends. Like, after I recovered, my friendships are so much better, and every relationship in my life is so much better than it used to be, because I don't want people to only pay attention to me. I don't get jealous of other people. And if my friends or like my loved ones spend time with other people and not with me, I actually enjoy being alone. And I don't get like psychotic when somebody doesn't answer my message or an email. I have my self-esteem higher than it used to be. It's not where I want it to be yet, but I'm like going there. And I can like accept that some people some people might not like me. And I feel enough assured in myself to put myself out there in the internet. And before, I was too scared to do that. Like, what if somebody doesn't like me? What if somebody posts a mean comment? What if somebody says that I'm ugly or something like that? And then now, I mean, like, I do get dislikes from time to time. I do, like, you know, not everybody is there to like praise you, and it doesn't mean that like anything is wrong with you, because there will always be people who just don't like you for no reason. And I do dislike some people for no reason, and although like it doesn't make me happy, it still happens and you cannot do anything about it. So well, I'm not as needy in relationships, and it feels way more relaxed and free, and I don't put this pressure on my friends, because even if you don't say it, it kind of like, you know, it gives it this vibe of uneasiness and like attachment and clinginess and like codependency, whatever. I don't know. So I tend to believe that my friendships are better now, even though maybe it is not as obvious from the outside, because like I never behaved in this way to demonstrate my real feelings to my friends. And now I can actually tell people if something hurts me, or if like I don't want to do something, you know, like, because before I would go and like bend over backwards to please other people because I wanted to be liked by everybody. And now I don't have that anymore. I don't need everyone to like me. I don't need like approval constantly. I still do sometimes, and I want like the people who are close to me and the people who I love, I want them to show me like that they love me too. But I can live without that. So I can like support myself, and I can be there for myself for the first time in my life maybe, and it feels really good. So the message that I would like to share is that I understand how many people are there that do have BPD or that struggle with mental health and who don't get help, or who don't believe that it's possible to get better and to have like better relationship and to feel better. But I'm here to tell you that it totally is possible, and if I could do it, anyone can do it, because my case was not the easiest one, let's admit it. I didn't only have BPD, I had some like other coexisting things to go with it, and if I could, you know, manage to get rid of it, then anyone can. And then your relationship become way better, and you don't you know, like you don't lose the passion and the love and the friendship that you have. You just don't feel these bad feelings of jealousy and neediness and, you know, like devaluation anymore. You just accept people as they are, and you learn to let them be the way they are without wanting to change them. And you accept yourself as you are, and you don't want to change yourself either. So I think that I will leave it here. I talked enough already for today, and I love you guys very much, and I will see you in the next video, which will be the last one for a while in this like white backdrop. So yeah, I hope that you have a great day, and I love you so much. Thank you very much for watching, and be a kind human. Bye.